What's up, guys? Nick Herntier here. I had one of my biggest percentage gain wins, probably my biggest percentage gain win so far yet, just last week, and it was an earnings play, and I happened to get 212% gain overall. It was on MasterCard, and I'm just going to be going over the trade and how I was viewing it and what I thought going into it, so you can kind of see what I was thinking and how I did it, and hopefully help yourself out maybe. So I will show you my pick here of what happened. So if you see here, I'm gonna make it about as big as it's getting. So I bought 418. I bought a vertical spread, 5 contracts, had the 185, 187.5 call, and then did that and that and that. I'll just go over what else I did once I come to it. So I ended up making $552. The way the spread works, if you look, 142 minus 90 is, I can't do basic math, is 52. So 52 times 5 is, I paid $52 a contract, and I got 5 of them. So what's that, 260? 260, just so I got my math right. So I paid $260 for my position. So did that. My strategy I used, if I can pull this, I'll put a link below to my strategy. I made a video on a safer way to play options. It's what I've been doing. It's been working out pretty good. I did get burned on Square this week and didn't do what I wanted it to do, but Netflix I made really good money. There are a few others I came out pretty good, but this was my biggest one, so I figured I'd go over this. So as you can see, I bought here on 418, which was here. So MasterCard earnings, it was like 2 weeks before earnings, and I was like, all right, and I'll put my play in here. I thought maybe it would keep going up a bit and then I could get out. But the good, kind of the good way about my strategy was, if it would have gone up, I would have gotten out, like maybe here with some of my contracts, and held a couple and made, a good amount of money, and then held through earnings and see what it did. So it'll be, house money I'm using, just free money. But that's not quite the way this happened. So after I bought it, of course, it started dropping down, because why wouldn't it, right? But then it started going back up, and I'm like, all right, good. Week of earnings starts going up. So right about here on this day, as you can see, I bought it on this day, which is about here. So I was about even. I was like, all right, I could get out and just call it even, maybe be down, like $20 or something. But I figured, MasterCard's pretty solid. Earnings, I'm going to hold through earnings. I don't always recommend doing, but I did it anyway. So the earnings were 129 estimated. They came out at 1.5. So stock went up, right? And at this point, I'll get down to we'll go the 5-minute chart. How about that? Do I got a 5-minute? No, I got a 10-minute. We'll go the 10-minute chart. So earnings happened, stock shot up, came back down. So here I'm looking at, and I was at the 187.5 strike, right? And right now I was up a bunch, and I was like, all right, I could get out with all my stuff, make like 160% or whatever is what I was at. So I kind of held, and I sold 3 of my 5 contracts right here at like 12:27 it happened. So right about this tick, and actually was up, since I sold 3 contracts at like 160%. Even if my other 2 contracts were worthless, I still would have made money. But I held on to 3 because I kind of got burned on Netflix doing the same thing. Facebook event. And so right after I sold it, they started dropping, and I was like, good thing I sold. But then next day happened, kind of held steady, and I was about where I was. And then next day happened, and this is the expiration day. It started going up and up and up, and it hit this red line right here is the strike that I needed to be at to make max profit, which was I think like 360% or something. I can figure it out quick, but I'm not gonna. So it went above, so now I'm completely in the money, and I'm looking good, looking good, looking good. And then it kind of started to drop just a little, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna call it a day. I got out at, instead of at a 250, which would be, you know, exact max profit, I got out at I'll bring up my calculator again. I got out at 205. So, and I only paid what I paid. What did I say? 52. So that's super good. 205, 52, 205. So that right there was a 294% gain on those 2 contracts, which is pretty sweet. And then it started dropping a little and dropped, and I was like, oh, good thing I got out, because, you know, I was like, it's going to start shifting momentum here. And it really didn't. It actually finished up higher, and if I would have held, I would have got my 250%, or 250, you know, max profit. So I left $45 on the table per contract, so essentially I left $90 on the table for my final 2, but I got out. I'll take my win. And like I said, it was a $552 win with a 212% average gain. It was super, super sweet. So that's a good strategy, and just, it's kind of, you know, what I've been using. Like, the good thing that I was saying with my strategy was, if it starts going up, then you can get out early, because a lot of times it ramps up for earnings, where the price on these good stocks, you know, like MasterCard, stuff that's like, you know, quality stocks, a lot of times they go up for earnings. You can get out early and make money. But if they start going down and you're losing and you're underwater in your position, you can always just do the lottery play and just hang on. That's what I did with Square, and it ended up backfiring on me. I ended up losing, like, I put $200 in, I lost it all, so I was down $200 on that trade. The earnings came out and it dropped. If they would have gone up, I would have made, like, you know, $500 or $400, I think. I was looking around at 200% gain too, but that's the way of options. So if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I put out options videos all the time. If you want to see any specific type of videos, options to talk about, comment below. I'm going to post a link to a chat room I'm in. It's a paid chat, but I'm always in our options chat, calling out my plays I make, and, you know, just answering any questions people have, giving my input, putting out my advice. So join me there if you want. Thanks for watching, guys.